As human beings, we are all born externally referenced. And what that means is that we look external to ourselves, outside to ourselves, for the authority to let us know what things are, how to respond to the world, what things are good, what things are bad. And it makes perfect sense because, well, when we're born, we don't really have any content information letting us know how to respond to the world. So we have to get acculturated by our authority figures external to ourselves. And as we develop, hopefully along the human developmental journey, at some point we start to take that authority inside of ourselves. So we can think for ourselves, we can author our own lives and determine for ourselves what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, what we should do and what we shouldn't do, and all of that kind of information. And that process of taking that authority, that authorship from external to internal as we develop as human beings, it's an important part of the journey of becoming a leader, of leadership in general. And when I'm talking about leadership, this involves parenting, of course, right? Because, well, as a kid, you're being parented, but perhaps at some point you're going to want to take the authority inside so that you can be an external authority to your children. But this also applies with managerial roles, executive roles, political leadership, thought leadership, leadership as a coach or as an influencer. So this process of gradually taking authority from external to inside of yourself to be the authority, it's an important part of human development, of maturation and becoming more of the author of your life and more of a leader for other people, the people around you, the people who are watching you in your household, in your company, in your organization, and in your community. And so one question I want to pose for you is, if you were to rate your authority, where is your authority? Is it outside primarily or is it inside primarily? It's a good kind of question to think for yourself. Do you look outside for what should I do, or do you from the inside out determine what should I be doing right now? What should I do? And well, now let's get a little bit more granulated on this, because the best leaders are not purely internal authority. So they don't just take the authority 100% and they command and control what things are. The best leaders actually have an internal authority, so they know what's right, they think what's right, but they have an external check. And what that means is that they look outside to other people for feedback, primarily for the people who they are leading, to get information, feedback, and have an open feedback loop that allows them to continue to gather information so that they can improve their leadership to the people which they are leading based on that feedback loop. And so that's another question that I can have you ask yourself, which is how, in my role as a leader, again, as a manager, as a parent, as just a community leader, someone who's out in public in the community, a politician, whatever leadership roles that you hold, as a coach, as a public speaker, as a trainer, how often are you in communication with your audience to gather information about what their needs are so that you can best lead them? That's if your authority is inside, and also if your authority is mainly outside, how can you take that authority inside so that you can start to become more clear and more of the author of the direction of which you're leading, and then open that feedback loop between you and your audience and your followers to continually grow. And one of the beliefs, one of the frames of mind that supports a leader in doing that is understanding that we are not perfect as human beings. We're fallible, we make mistakes, and I've thought things myself that I totally don't believe anymore. At the time I 100% believed them, or I thought it was the right thing, or I did things that I 100% thought were the right thing to do, and now looking back in retrospect, I understand that was probably not the best thing to do, and it wouldn't be what I would do again. So embracing your fallibility as a human being is an important part of self-leadership, and also opens you up to that external feedback to grow and to become a better leader to whomever you are leading. So I hope you found this video valuable. Take a kind of an internal inventory and check, where is my authority? Is it mostly outside? Is it more internal? And if it is internal, do I have some sort of external check, some open feedback loops where I gather information on a regular basis from my followers. And I'm wondering for you, what's the answer to this question? Feel free to share it in the chat around this video. I'm sure that I, as well as the other people around, would be interested in benefiting from your knowledge, your experience, and your skill. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jason Schneider, and I work with coaches, leaders, and personal developers to unleash the highest and best of human potential, starting with yourself, through cutting-edge psychological models such as neurolinguistic programming, neurosemantics, coaching skills, and self-actualization psychology. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, taking that authority inside and checking around with people to open yourself to feedback so that you can learn and grow as a human being and as a leader.